All right, almost done with the top side of this. Now it's time to insert our elements. So the first is we'll put this little USB port A in the USB port A. It's the only one with the flat pins right here, and so it actually goes in slot, it's U4. And so for this one, you just kind of line up the pins more or less, and then just kind of press it into place. Might need to, should hear kind of a soft little click there, and it mostly just kind of holds in place. Next, we'll get a RJ11, which is this port right here. You'll notice it only has 2 pins coming out of it, and that RJ11 is going to line up with this. It's U7 or U number 7 right there. And for this one, same idea. We'll line it into place. This one has a little bit more of a satisfying click to it. So you kind of line up the pins, and then flip it over a little bit easier. You just kind of press it. Kind of has a nice little click sound to it. Rattles around a little bit, but stays in place mostly. And then we have our 3 RJ45s, which are your standard kind of Ethernet connection. It's got all of these connectors right there. And these ones require a little bit more oomph to actually get them into place. So, but same idea, you just kind of line up all the pins there, and then get a nice little satisfying click sound out of it. Again, kind of line up all the pins. And this is, yeah, you really kind of got to give it an oomph. We got to put a lot of a pressure on it to get them into place there. And you don't have to worry too much about cracking the PCB or anything, as long as you're kind of applying pressure. It's kind of nice to put pressure on sort of either side of the port here with one hand, and then use your thumb to jam from the other. And as long as you're kind of keeping all the pressure points close-ish to it, you don't really need to worry about breaking the PCB at all. So hopefully that all showed up right there. And so now for that, for each of the RJ11 ports, or for the RJ45s, which are these 3 right there, and the RJ11, you just solder the pins in place, same as usual. And for the USB-A, you solder each of those 4 pins in place, and then you actually also put a bunch of solder into these 2 little mounting holes to kind of help that little clip stay into place. Now, normally on kind of a regular USB-A, that would be part of the shielding of the cord, and so there would also you'd be grounding it in addition. In this case, the cords that we use are unshielded because we're not transferring data or anything, so it's not important. But you can still put a little bit of solder in there just to kind of keep the whole thing in place. So I'll go ahead and add solder to each of those points, and then solder also to the shielding here, and then we'll check back in for the last part of getting this board ready to go.